Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about using the fifth ward, which is the tail guard. Okay, ward meaning guard. So basically we're talking about the fifth guard of I-33, which is a tail guard. When most of the time when people use it, I see them mostly using it to hide their sword, right? If I have the sword behind me like this, you can't see it. You don't know if I'm going to attack from here or if I'm going to attack from here. So they use it as a means to hide their sword or hide the angle of their attacks, or sometimes they'll just use it to buy some time and just do a stretch, okay, and then follow up with an attack. So that's how I mostly see people using it. But a way that I use it is kind of like as the terminal point to a pull-through cut. Okay, so we're going to talk about what a pull-through cut is in this video. So first, let's talk about the other type of cut so that you can understand why the pull-through cut is different. So most of my other cuts, they pretty much end in the long point, right? So if I'm here and I cut, okay, I make a cut to the head there, what's happening is the sword basically terminates at this long point, right, which is the 7th ward, okay? So it terminates there, and then from there I can turn it over into another cut, which is also terminating in a long point, and then again I can cut here, which is also terminating in the long point, okay? So that's how most of my cuts end up. They end up terminating in this long point with the arm fully extended, and one of the reasons why I'm able to do that is I can see what I'm cutting at, right? So in this guard here, right, there's 4 quadrants, right? You've got, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay, so as I stand here, you got 1, 2, 3, and 4 over here. So the 4th quadrant is this quadrant over here. That's basically on the sword side. That's the side that I normally cannot see through my shield, right? So as I stand here, right, okay, I can see here, I can see here, I can see here. I can't see what's over here. Okay? I cannot see what's over there. I can kind of guess what's over there based on what I see up here. So if I see a head and shoulders up here, I can guess that there's probably a leg someplace down here. So because I can see 1, 2, and 3, I'm able to make my cuts and know where they're going to terminate, right? Right. So even when I'm cutting at the legs, a lot of times I'm not looking directly at the leg, but I can kind of see it through my peripheral vision. Okay? I have even though I'm looking up here, I have a sense of where that is. If the person moves, I can see it. If they move in on me or if they move out, I can adjust. Now, a lot of times if somebody is, let's say somebody is moved in on me or I move in on them, the way that I'm going to make my cut is going to be a little bit different. So depending on the distance, right, as I make my cut, I can determine if like this is going to be where I'm going to hit or if this is going to be where I'm going to hit, and basically how I power through the sword is going to be slightly different because again I can see where the person is. I know where the cut is going to terminate, right? And even again, even if I cut there, right, I end in the long point, I turn over to this side of the body, again I'm ending up in the long point. So most of my cuts end up in the long point. However, when I'm cutting here, down here, which would be basically this area down there, okay, I cannot see where that leg is, okay? So I have to make a cut, right, in such a way because I don't know when and where it's going to hit. So, and I have to also account for the fact that it may not hit anything. So I have to throw my cut in such a way that I'm going to basically, whether it hits or doesn't hit, I'm going to basically pull back and end up back here, okay? And I've talked about this in other videos. Sometimes I'll come up and then from there bring it down. But again, I cannot see this area over here that I am attacking, right? Because basically that area is over here. So as I make that cut, I'm pulling through and I'm ending up in this long point I'm ending up in this tail guard as I'm cutting because I don't know if I'm going to hit, if I'm not going to hit, at what point I'm going to hit. So that's the benefit of the pull-through cut. It allows you to make a cut into an area that you can't see, and you don't know exactly at what point it's going to hit or not going to hit, and basically you're making this cut with the intention of pulling through and ending up back here. Okay, so that's the pull-through cut, okay, into an area that I cannot see. Okay, that's going to end back here regardless of whether I hit or do not hit. Now, another way I have found this useful is if I have somebody that is basically, let me extend this, right? We're pretending that this is a sword here with a sword arm back here. So a lot of times when people see a large shield like this, they know that I cannot see what's in this area over here. Okay? So what they will sometimes do is they'll stand there, right? And they'll basically threaten the point. Basically, they'll point their sword just below my shield where I can't see their tip. And the idea there is that because I cannot see their sword, I'm either going to drop my shield to look at it, either this way or open up this way. And then when I do, basically, they're going to bring the tip around, right? So they'll stand here like this. If I open up that shield, they'll basically bring it around like this, okay? Or if I lower it, they'll come over the top and thrust me like that. So they're basically threatening the tip, okay, into an area that I cannot see, hoping that I will move the shield out of the way, and then they'll attack me. So one of the counters that I have found to this is, as I stand here, right, because right now, as I stand like this, I cannot see this pole over here, right? I cannot see it, right? So as I stand here like this, I cannot see that pole. I know it's there, I just don't know exactly where it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pull-through cut, right? I'm going to make a pull-through cut and come all the way out like this. So I'm basically attacking their arm because I have a good sense of where it is, but not exactly where it is. So I don't know exactly when and where this is going to make contact, but I'm making it with the intention of pulling it through, okay? All right, pulling it through and then following up with another cut, okay? Because maybe I'll hit them, maybe I won't. If anything, it'll get them to stop threatening me with the point in an area that I can't see. So if I do that enough times to them, they'll stop doing that, right? They'll think of something else to do. Because to me, that's especially annoying, right? Somebody's got a tip below my shield line, so I can't see it. That's going to make me feel really uncomfortable. Most people will basically naturally most people that are not experienced are going to open up to look at it, and that's when they're going to get killed. Right? They're going to open up to look for that tip, and then boom, they're going to get hit. Somebody that's more experienced is basically going to back up and then look for it, okay? But the thing is, if you back up, it basically takes you out of the fight. So if you know somebody's basically has their arm extended, right? You know where their arm is, why not take advantage of that, right? So if they're threatening you with the tip just below your shield line, you have a good sense of where their arm is, because their arm is usually going to be, right? If you look at my arm here, even if you're having a shield, you can see it's going to basically protrude somewhere in this area over here, right? So I know I'm going to attack somewhere in this area over here. I don't know exactly where I'm going to hit, so I'm going to make this pass-through cut, pull it back to the tail guard, and then basically immediately throw back either to the head or throw back to the leg, depending on how I see them move. Okay, so that's the pull through, a pull through cut into a tail guard, right? Because we're just momentarily passing through it into this tail guard, and then immediately striking. And this can be a very powerful blow, because normally when we fight here like this, because this gives us that little bit of defense, right? I have the extra defense here. So normally most of my attacks are basically powered from here. But if I pull through, end up here, now I've got a lot more space to accelerate the sword. The sword's going to come in a lot faster, it's going to come in a lot faster, and it's going to hit a lot harder. So something for you guys to think about. So that's a pull through cut, okay? And it can either be to the sword, or it can be to the leg. A pull through cut into the tail guard, and then followed up by an immediate cut, either to the head or to the leg. Okay? Drop some comments below. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you all soon.